Hello my friends, it's Lisa, and today I'm going to be talking about all of the books that I really want to read during the summer. So I don't do monthly TBR videos. I occasionally do them, but it's not something that I do every month because I'm definitely a mood reader. I just want to read what I want when I want. So I have a lot of books I've been wanting to pick up recently, so I thought I would do a summer TBR video. That way that gives me like a few months to get through these books, and I think that I will probably pick them up over the next few months because these are the books that I've been gravitating towards and been wanting to read recently. So yeah, let's just get into the video. I don't have that much fantasy to talk about, which is interesting. I'm definitely a big fantasy reader. I feel like I read mostly fantasy, but as of lately, I've been really wanting to read some other genres and some other things. So I'll start with the fantasies because there's not much to talk about there. So one of the first fantasies that I definitely want to pick up this summer is Vicious Spirits by Kat Cho. This is the sequel companion novel sort of thing to Wicked Fox, and I read that last summer. I think I read that last August. And for some reason, if I read a book that's in a series in a certain season, I want to read like the next books in the series in that same season. So I definitely want to pick this up in the warmer months. So Wicked Fox is following these two characters who I don't even remember their names, so that's good. But we're following one who is a gumiho, and I can't remember if I'm pronouncing that right, but it's basically a nine-tailed fox, which is a thing in Korean folklore, and she basically like hunts down and kills men and like sucks out their souls, so like love that. And then there is another main character whose name, it's like on the tip of my tongue, but it's not there. But then we're also following the male lead who kind of starts developing feelings for her. So it's very like K-drama-esque. I think it'd be interesting to read them now because I have watched K-dramas since reading Wicked Fox. Before Wicked Fox, I had never seen a K-drama before. So I think it's going to be fun to see if this still gives me like K-drama vibes. So I think this is technically the companion. So it's following some of the side characters from Wicked Fox, but I think it's continuing kind of the story that started in the first book. I don't know. I'm a little nervous because I feel like no one is loving this like the same way that they loved Wicked Fox. A lot of people are disappointed by this, but I'm still excited to read it. I think it'll be fun. And I think me and Casey from Casey Can Read might be buddy reading this, so Casey, let me know. And then the other fantasy that I have on my TBR, the one that I really want to get to this summer, is These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong. So this is a Romeo and Juliet retelling set in Shanghai, and I think it involves like gangs, like I think they're in rival gangs or something, but I'm really excited about this. I've heard a lot of really great things. I've also heard some not great things, but I think like a lot of those people kind of went in with certain expectations. I think most people kind of went in expecting the Romeo and Juliet retelling to be more of a focus and the romance to be more of a thing throughout this book, but I don't think that's the case. I think it's more about like the characters and the plot, and the romance doesn't really come in that much in this book, so I'm hoping because I know that I might enjoy this a little bit more. But I'm really excited. I've literally been staring at this book on my bookshelf since I got it in November. I got it for the November Book of the Month pick, so it's just been on my shelves for 6 months, 7 months, I don't know, math is hard, but I've just been staring at it every month and going, I need to read that, I should read that, I want to pick that up, and then I haven't yet. So hopefully I can read it this summer. And that's really it for the fantasy. I know I have some fantasies on TBRs for the like Buzzwordathon, which is a monthly like reading challenge readathon thing. I know I have some fantasies that I'm going to read probably for that, as well as some secret TBR videos that I'm doing. So I know I will be reading more fantasy, but those are the ones that I like really want to get to this summer that aren't on any TBRs. I just want to read them. So those were the fantasies, and now I have a classic that I would like to read this summer, which is very different for me, but I would definitely like to read Little Women this summer. I also need to talk about how cute this edition is. I think it's cute because it's like actually so tiny, but I also just love all of the illustrations on the cover. I think it's really cute. But I am very excited to read what's on the inside of this book, not just talk about the cover and look at it. I've had this on my TBR for like a year and a half now, so I think it's time for me to read it. I've been kind of in a classics mood lately. I don't know why. I don't know what's going on. That never happens. That does never happen. That's English. This is why I don't read classics, because I can't even speak. but I've been kind of in the mood to pick up a classic recently, so I feel like I should take advantage of that feeling while it lasts, and hopefully I will pick this up during the summer and then I can watch the movie that came out in like 2019 with my queen, Emma Watson. I'm so excited to finally be able to watch that and also read this, so hopefully I become a Little Women stan. I really want to be obsessed with this. I want this to be my everything, so I hope I like it. Next, I have a couple of YA contemporaries that I'd like to read, and they're actually both from the same author, so I'd really love to read the Morgan Matson books that I have. I have Save the Date and Since You've Been Gone. I think Save the Date is about a wedding that goes completely wrong. Like, everything that can go wrong does go wrong, and Since You've Been Gone, I think, is about a girl whose best friend, like, goes missing or something. I don't know. I think all of Morgan Matson's books takes place during the summer though, and that makes me want to read them during the summer. Oh my god, look at this dog on the back. Is that a joke? It's so cute. But I would love to read these in the summer. I feel like the summer is the perfect time to read YA contemporary in general, but ones that take place during the summer especially, so hopefully I can get to these. Hopefully I like them. I've never read a Morgan Matson book before, so it'll be fun to try out and see how I feel. Another one that I want to read is a romance slash contemporary. I think it's not so much of a romance as everyone was expecting it to be, but I'm excited anyway. It's Honey Girl by Morgan Rogers. I really want to read this book. I've been really wanting to pick it up recently, so maybe I will pick it up in June. But this is about a girl who goes on a girls' trip to Vegas after getting her PhD. And when she's in Vegas, she ends up getting really drunk and marrying this girl she does not know. So I think this book is following her kind of trying to escape all of the questions about her life and her trying to figure out what she wants to do. And she does that by moving in with the girl that she married. So I'm just really excited to see what this is all about. I feel like this is gonna be a favorite of mine. I feel like I'm gonna be able to relate to certain aspects of it. So I'm just very excited to read it, and I would love to read it during the summer. It's also a very short book, so I feel like I could read this very quickly. I don't know. I'm excited. 24-hour readathon material, perhaps. I don't know, but I need to read this as soon as possible. I'm really excited for this one, so I definitely would like to read it over the next couple of months. Another book that I would love to read this summer, I don't actually have a copy of it yet, but that is Heartstopper Volume 3 by Alice Oseman. I think the US editions are a little bit behind. Like, I think Volume 4 just came out, but Volume 4 isn't coming out here until December. So Volume 3 actually just came out at the beginning of May, and I need a copy. I need it right now. I actually just reread Volume 1 and read Volume 2 for the first time during a 24-hour readathon that me, Casey, and Darian did last week. Was that last week? I don't know what time is, but it happened. But I'm just so obsessed with them. They're so cute. I feel like because I read the first volume during the week of the reading rush, where I was just like taking in so many books and so much information, that I just went through it super fast and didn't really like enjoy it the first time around. Like, I definitely like loved it. I gave it 5 stars, but I didn't get to enjoy it as much as possible when I read it the first time. So this reread was even better, and I feel like Volume 2 is even better than Volume 1. So I'm obsessed. I need Volume 3. I don't know what else to say about that. I just need to continue on. I love Nick and Charlie so much. They're so cute. These are the cutest graphic novels, and I just love them so much. So definitely need to get Volume 3 and read that over the summer. Also, another book that has come out, I think in May. I think it came out in May, but I would really like to read in the summer is Counting Down With You by Tashi Bouillon. I don't know if I'm saying her name right. I knew it at one point. I probably should look it up again. Bouillon? I apologize. But this book, it sounds so cute. I feel like everyone's loving it. It just sounds great. There's fake dating. That's it. That's all I need to know. I also know that there is like a playlist. I think the male character makes a playlist for the girl. I think one of them makes a playlist for one another, and they put both Taylor Swift and BTS in their playlist, so naturally I'm going to fall in love with these characters and love this book. You know, that's all I need to know. So I would really love to read this summer as well. I don't actually have a copy of it. I would like to buy a copy, but I always get scared buying books by authors I haven't read yet because I'm like, what if I don't like it? I don't know. But it sounds really cute. I know my friend Brittany loves it. I've seen so many good reviews about it, so I would like to read it. We'll see. I know the audiobook is on one of the apps I use, so maybe I'll do that instead. I don't know, but I need to read it, so that hopefully will be happening this summer. And then there are some newer releases coming out this summer that I would like to get to. I will be doing a new releases video for, what months haven't I covered yet? July, August, and September. I'm going to be filming that at some point this month, so that'll probably come later this month if you want to know a bunch of new releases that are happening in the summer that I have been made aware of, but there are a couple that I want to point out that I will hopefully be reading when they come out. So the first one is actually being released today, the day I'm filming this, and that is Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. So Taylor Jenkins Reid also wrote The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo as well as Daisy Jones and the Six, so you've probably heard of this book, you've probably heard of this author already, but I'm really excited for this. I think it's gonna be so good. I think it's like this family that has a party and at the end of the night it ends up in flames and there's gonna be a lot of drama between all the characters and I'm excited. It's gonna be so good. I just know it. Another new release I'm excited about is Rise to the Sun by Leah Johnson. I believe this is coming out in July and honestly, I could not tell you what this book is about. I just saw Leah Johnson was coming out with a new book and I was like, okay, sign me up. I loved Leah Johnson's first debut novel, which was You Should See Me in a Crown. It was so cute, one of my favorite books of last year, so of course I'm very excited for her next book. Let me just take a quick little peek at Goodreads and see if I can figure out what this book is about. So okay, this is coming out on July 6th for anyone who wants to know, and it seems like it's about a music festival, and I think it's about two girls who probably meet at the music festival. I don't know. It's Leah Johnson. That's all I need to know, and I'm really excited for it. Hopefully I can get my hands on it. I still don't even own You Should See Me in a Crown in a physical copy in my possession. What's up with that? That's incorrect. So I need to get that and probably reread it this summer, but I would love to read her new release as well. And I just have one more new release that I want to talk about, and that is One Last Stop by Casey McQuiston. This might actually be out by the time I'm filming this. This might also be coming out June 1st. So yeah, this is coming out June 1st, which is today. So it's out by the time you see this. And I think it's about this girl who like starts commuting on the train and there's this girl there that's like from the 70s or something. So I think there's like, I don't know if there's time traveling involved, probably not that much. I think it's more of like a contemporary thing, but I think she's like stuck from the 70s on this train. I don't know. It sounds great though. I'm very excited. I think it'll be a good book to read during the summer, a perfect like romance contemporary moment. I feel like that's like what I gravitate towards more in the summer months. So I'm excited for that. I know a lot of people are, so I'm sure you've heard of it as well. But I think that those are all of the books that I really want to read this summer and really prioritize. I would love to know, one, any books that are coming out this summer that you're excited about, but also any books that you're planning on reading this summer. Also, if you've read any of these books, definitely let me know your thoughts because that might make me move certain ones up on the priority list. But yeah, I think that that is going to complete this video. So thank you guys so much for watching and I will see you in the next one. Bye.